Remember when Michelle Obama asked us to let's move, and many of us in the room did by teaching kids how to eat healthier? Our next guest, Jack Sinclair, is the CEO of Sprouts Farmers Market. His whole life he's worked as a grocer, and he too moved and worked with Michelle Obama to reformulate food that fed the nation, reducing sugar, trans fats, and salts. And with that, I'd like to welcome up Jack Sinclair of Sprouts.
It was nice to hear a Scottish voice, because I don't hear many of them on the video there. So you guys have come a lot longer than 500 miles, many of you, and we appreciate you all being here. And it really is a pleasure to be here. I've learned a lot this morning. I don't think I've learned how to make paper airplanes. I've learned I can sponsor a worm in the future, which I'm very excited about. That would be really cool if I can do that. Anyway, thanks ever so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm delighted to be here representing the 36,000 Sprouts team members. Kristen and Lindsay from the foundation are here. The video crew's here over in the corner there. Chef Matt's here as well, which we're excited to have with us, and he'll be talking to you later about some of the food that we're going to be eating. And I'm really particularly pleased to have three team members from our store in Colorado Springs who've set up this beautiful display. One of the great things, give them a round of applause. One of the great things that food can do is stimulate the senses. And one of the things we like to do, I've always been inspired by going through fruit markets in Guatemala, or when you can see vegetables in Chinese markets, when it comes alive. That's what we try and do in a Sprout store. And those of you that know the Sprout store, it kind of centres on creating colour and sense and making it come alive in a very different way to we think many of the other people operating in this grocery space. I've been a grocer all my life. I started in 1983 back in Scotland. My family was involved in the dairy industry in the west of Scotland. They also grew potatoes, so I had some experience of kind of food as I was growing up and how important food is. And when you get the opportunity to serve food to millions and millions of people, I worked for Tesco and Safeway back in the United Kingdom from the 80s through to 2007, and you learn a lot about how food grows, animal husbandry, the livestock, how it all comes alive to create masses of food for millions of people. And it's one of the things that I've kind of seen as a very important part of my kind of upbringing and growing up, how to make food more important and how to do it right for people. And there is a role for scale in that. There is a role for scale to create efficiency and how it all can come alive. And when I got the opportunity in 2007 to come and run the world's largest food business, which is Walmart's grocery business, was an opportunity for some little guy from Glasgow to get this opportunity to be in front of what are the policies that go towards creating all of this food for all of these people all over the world. 230 million Americans shop at Walmart every week. So the opportunity of being in front of that and doing some stuff around it was really cool. And one of the things that happened, it was quite entertaining really. Michelle Obama and Sam Cass, who was the White House chef, a really impressive guy, came to Walmart and said, look, you sell a lot of food to a lot of people. We're putting this Let's Move campaign together where we're going to try and encourage kids to eat more healthy. We're going to create more exercise space. We want to create, and part of that is what the food that big purveyors of food are supplying people. And what can we do about it? And it was quite entertaining because America's a strange place, guys. I didn't know what a Democrat was. I didn't know what a Republican was. I didn't know Michelle Obama was a Democrat. And it created a bit of tension in Walmart, doing some stuff with Michelle Obama. And the unions weren't happy with Michelle Obama. It was very brave of her to do a partnership with Walmart and vice versa. But the simple thing I always think is, if you're trying to make kids eat a bit healthier and exercise a bit more, I can't see there's much politics in that, to be honest with you. And having the opportunity to actually be in the middle of that, we, as we said, we reduced some salt and sugar in some of the major products we were selling. And I think it probably has helped. I think that campaign, I'd love it to have had more momentum, but politics gets in the way of these things. But it's certainly an important initiative, and it kind of links a lot with the work that a lot of you guys are doing in terms of educating the kids to really appreciate what food is and appreciate a healthy lifestyle. So when I got the opportunity to come to kind of run my own show at Sprouts and came here 2.5, 3 years ago, I just before the pandemic, it was a great time to join a new company in food grocery. And what I will say, maybe a little separate, the pandemic's been a really amazing thing for the grocery industry. I think we've all begun to realise how great our associate team members are working in the front line. There was a lot of pressure on them. And I'm very grateful and proud of the team members that have kind of the 30-odd thousand people that showed up for work every day in a very uncertain circumstances. People began to understand things, but at the time, people thought they were putting themselves in danger, and it was a pretty difficult time. Having the opportunity to work for Sprouts, I've always admired Sprouts from afar when I would go into the stores. I love the presentation of fresh produce. I love the kind of commitment to doing things in the right way, and to have the opportunity to be in the middle of that was a pretty exciting opportunity for me, and I'm glad I got that chance. One of the things that we want to be is we want to give affordable food, healthy food, to as many people as we can, and that involves building a lot of stores. So we're trying to build 30, 40 stores a year at the moment, all over the country, Florida, Texas. There's a few places represented in here that we're not represented, and I need to sort that one out and then get a few more stores around the country. There's plenty of opportunity for that. And that's who we are. That's the purpose of who we are. We're trying to be a business that provides healthy, affordable food to as many people. And if you go into Sprouts, you'll find it a great produce section, and the rest of the store is very much based on attribute-based products. So whether it be keto, whether it be vegetarian, whether it be vegan, whether it be plant-based, whether it be paleo, those kind of attribute-based products is how we try and position ourselves differently. And we're pretty kind of excited about how that's all coming together. And so that's kind of who Sprouts are and why I was excited at getting this opportunity to be part of it. And part of the thing that I'm excited about the Foundation's work with you guys is that we've got this new set of values, and the set of values kind of emphasise, we got all our team members to come back to us and say, what do we stand for? And we did about 5,000 interviews, and they came back and told us what we stand for are caring for each other, caring for the planet that we live and work in, as well as delivering results, taking responsibility, own it, take responsibility for how that's going to come alive for us. And the care, the foundation of care that we have in our business is kind of links to what we do with the Foundation. I want us to be a business that does well because we do good. We do good by doing good. And I think that's a bigger drive across enterprises going forward. The sustainability movement is now becoming a much more important issue when I go and speak to investors, when I go and speak to people who are analysing our company. What you're doing to be sustainable has become a much bigger factor in the big financial world that can be kind of scary to everybody. But the people that are owning all your pension funds and owning all the kind of investments that exist are much more interested in that. And we're trying to take a responsible view in the middle of that. And that links back to how can we encourage and stimulate more of the population, more of our kids, to grow up interested in the food that they grow, interested in how it comes about. There's nothing better than bringing my little kids around our little dairy farm back in Scotland and actually letting them see the cows and letting them see how all it works. The fascination, and I think you captured it in some of the presentations, the fascination that kids have with food, if you stimulate it, is something that I'm very grateful for all the work that you do in trying to make that come alive and making it happen all the way around the country. So I'm here to thank you all very much for what you're doing. Thank you all very much, and encourage you as much as we can in the context of working with you through the Foundation. We'd like to encourage what you're doing, and I'm excited to see what you're going to come up with in the next couple of days in your various conversations. So thanks very much, everybody. Appreciate it.